Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, well, this video is going to be another of the Italy vlogs. So I'm joined here by Jack.
Hello.
We are just on our way to his parents' house because we have now obviously moved out. So yeah, we're just on our way there. We're going to walk the dog quickly before we go, and then we will be off to Gatwick. So yeah, Jack, do you want to tell them, God, I can't hold this straight, where we're going, what we're doing this time?
So we're flying to Florence. So round 2 of the Italian GT Championship is in Mugello, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's a very different circuit to Pegusa. It's one I briefly know. I've never actually raced there, but I've been there a couple of times for various work events. Much bigger, up and down flowing circuit, so literally almost the total opposite to Pegusa, where it's just like start stop chicanes. It'd be much better for Corinne for viewing as well. For people who don't know, F1 went there a couple of years ago during COVID, and MotoGP go there I think every year. So it's a very famous track. And yeah, so then we've got a couple of days afterwards staying in Florence, which to be honest I think is very much needed, because after the moving, and for me to be honest just generally life at the moment with normal work with Lamborghini, with moving, it's all been very stressful and very tense and tiring, and we've been getting 5-6 hours of sleep a night over the last few weeks. And it'd just be nice to maybe have a lay-in and see a new place. Well, I've been to Florence before, but kind of actually see it in, you know, a holiday kind of format as opposed to being there for work. So yeah, we're just off to the folks' house in the van, and then yeah, we'll be just running Barney out quickly, and then we'll be off to Gatwick and on our way.
Segnale delle cinture si sarà spento.
So we are just in one of the local towns, would you say?
Yeah.
Near Mugello Circuit, and we've just had a bit of a late lunch / early dinner because we had breakfast at the airport this morning at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it is now 5:25. So we were feeling a little worse for wear. Jack's got a little bit of a headache, feels a bit dehydrated, because we were sat on the plane for quite a while. It was delayed, typical, because why would it not be? But we're just going back to the track now because I think you're going to do a bit of sim time, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that's the plan, sim time or a track walk or something like that. Yeah, just generally a bit of preparation.
Yes, but it's very, very warm. I think we said that today's the coolest day, so it's about 29. Did we say tomorrow's going to be the same? Basically, yeah. Saturday and Sunday is going to be 37 degrees. It was going to be stormy, but it looks as though the storm has passed. So you can imagine how hot it's going to be for me watching, but at least I'll have the breeze. And Jack is going to be one hot mess over the weekend.
I get sweaty very easily anyway, so
he's going to smell.
Basically, yeah.
So we're just, oh no, we're not going back to the track now. We're just going to go check into our hotel,
and then
we're going to go back to the track because nobody was there when we dropped in earlier to drop off Jack's race kit. So we'll give you a tour when we get to our hotel. Sorry for anyone that gets travel sick, but there's this lovely lake that we're just driving past. So it's a very picturesque drive. So we've just checked into our hotel. I think it's called the Garden Cafe. Not really sure, to be honest, but does a job. It's just a bed. Hopefully it's comfy. I haven't actually done a test. Oh, it feels very squishy, but it will do for a couple of nights. Jack is just in the toilet, so I will show you that later. But it looks like we've got a balcony, so that's very nice, which looks out onto some sort of football pitch, and then there's also a running track right here, and we were actually debating whether or not to bring our running stuff, and we both said no because we won't have the time to. and we literally could have gone out for a morning run on our doorstep. Typical, always the way. But yeah, we're just gonna drop our stuff and then head back to the track. It is about 100 degrees in this hotel room right now, so I need to crack the door open before I literally melt. Also, I look absolutely terrible because I'm very tired. So it's a much busier meeting. You can see all of these race trucks here with all the different teams, all the different championships. The car park is very, very busy as well. I will have a chat to Jack and see the best place to watch, because he was saying that you can get over here, but I don't know how to get to this tunnel. You'd think it was just a floor below, but it's not, so I don't know if you can see, but it's just gone yellow. So I always want to know what's happened when you see that flag, because obviously I've got no idea who it is / what it is. So yeah, hopefully it's not Jack. Like me, I'm really scared of heights, so this is like not my idea of fun, but I think it's the best place to watch, so I am told. I think that height looks a little bit better for me, so I definitely need to try and get over there instead. So it's now gone full course yellow, so obviously they're all going very, very slowly now. Either Jack or his teammate coming into the pits. I always find it so difficult because they're pretty much the same car, except from the wing mirrors are different colours, which obviously you can't see until they're literally upon you. Yeah, so that one's Jack's teammate. The really nice thing about Italy in general, from what I've seen the 2 times I've been here, is it's very mountainous and hilly, very green, something that you struggle to see in the UK these days. So it's a very, very picturesque circuit, and I was doing a little bit of sunbathing this morning. By sunbathing, they've got a couple of chairs outside the truck, so not a very comfortable sunbathing situation, but if I'm here and it's hot, I might as well try and catch a bit of a tan because I'm looking very, very pasty at the moment. So I'm just going to go down and see what's going on, and obviously what the plan is, because they may take Jack out the car and swap drivers. Okay, change of plan. I'm out of breath because I literally just got to the bottom of the stairs and then it went green, and I don't think anything happened, but whatever, who cares. And I've now found the tunnel, so it was actually down a flight, I was just not looking hard enough, and I'm so out of breath. So this makes me feel quite ill because directly beneath me is the circuit. Obviously it's built really strong, but yeah. I was just watching from
Hello guys, so just a quick update. It is now Friday evening, nearly bedtime. Today was not the best of days. There were some positives to take. We improved, learnt the track, feel quite happy with what I need to do to be fast enough for qualifying in the race. But we had some issues with the car. Nothing out of the ordinary really, you know, from time to time you do get these issues. Just a small electrical issue that needs to be looked into. So that kind of hampered our progress in the second practice session this afternoon. So we had to spend a bit of time in the pits. We think we managed to sort it, but it kind of affected our run plan because generally the engineer will make a plan for the session. So you won't just drive for an hour straight, you'll drive for so many laps, come in, make a change, make a driver change, put newer tyres on, fuel, all these kind of things. It's not just drive around, you know, aimlessly. There's always a target and a plan. So that kind of ruined our session. So although I went quicker than this morning, I was on very, very old tyres, which is less than ideal. You know, because when the tyre gets to a certain age, it's then not comparable to a car you will have during the race. So yeah, we think we've sorted the issue. The guys are just staying a bit late tonight just to double check and make sure they've sorted it. We have a third practice session tomorrow morning, so Saturday morning, just half an hour. So just a little final chance to fine tune things, maybe a couple of setup changes, make sure we are happy for qualifying, which is Saturday evening. Now, because one of my teammates is not here, I'm going to be driving double this weekend. So basically I'm driving for what would be two drivers. So I'm doing 2 of the 3 qualifying sessions, and then I'll be driving for probably an hour and a half of the 2-hour race. So, excuse me, it's going to be a busy Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday evening and Sunday race. Really looking forward to it. Just hoping that, yeah, we can cure all these issues, a couple of fine-tuning things on the setup, a couple more laps tomorrow morning, and we'll be ready to hit the ground running for the qualifying Saturday evening.
So we went to the shop a couple of nights ago just to get some fruit and stuff because we had a very late lunch. And we got some yogurts and we got some blueberries and raspberries and bananas, and we didn't actually end up eating it, so we're eating it now. and unfortunately they didn't come with a spoon, so I've got a fork that came with some mango that we got, and Jack has just created himself a little spoon out of the lid. Very creative. And yeah, we're just gonna have this for breakfast and then go down to the what would you even call it, like dining area, yeah, for maybe a coffee or something.
Nel frattempo mancano 8 minuti e 42 fino al termine di questa gara, siamo sulla numero di 7.
Hello again guys, so it is now Saturday evening. Corinne's just doing a bit of packing. We've just had a wash, got into bed, ready to go to sleep, but just a quick update from today. So we had FP3 this morning, so the final practice session was half an hour. My teammate managed to get a run in on new tyres, which was useful for him. It was actually, we were quite impressed with the improvements he's made since the first round, which was promising for the afternoon qualifying. I managed to jump in for just a couple of laps at the end, and again managed to just make some improvements, work on a few lines from what we discussed from Friday evening, you know, the debrief after the day, which was good. So we were feeling quite confident for the qualifying sessions. So I did the first qualifying session and ended at 3rd overall, top of our class, which was really good. With the heat and just the way Mugello circuit is, it really, the new tyres have a very big peak, so that basically means when they're new, they're really fast for a lap, maybe 2 laps at most, and then with the heat and the track surface, the drop off, so the loss of lap time due to just lack of grip after that 2-lap window is massive. So unfortunately in the Italian GT Championship there's a lot of cars in a different driving class that are quite significantly slower than the GT3 cars that I am racing, and some of the gentleman drivers, so they're just here obviously for fun, they're like 10 seconds a lap slower. So the problem is you can have a nice gap on the circuit, but you then very quickly catch them, and unfortunately their spatial awareness is not the best, so they kind of in the middle of the track brake at points where they shouldn't be braking, etc. You get the idea. So I actually had my best lap kind of semi-ruined, having to overtake into the last corner. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but yeah, to summarise, happy with that for the first session. My teammate then drove the second session. Again, for him, another good session, big improvements since the last round. The only disappointing thing is that he did his lap time, I think again after 4 or 5 laps after the tyre was way past its best. So if he could have got a lap in on lap 1 or 2 on the tyres, he 100% could have been quicker than he was. But again, like I say, positive session for him, and I think he should have a strong stint tomorrow. I was then back in for the third session because we've just got 2 of us this weekend, and unfortunately it's a bit of damage limitation because I had to reuse the same tyres from Q1. So like I just said, with the peak of the tyre, basically I had no chance to be at the front in this session because all the other cars were running new tyres, and the drop off, like I say, is so big. So I think I was 6th or 7th in that in this session, which was about as good as we could have hoped. So overall, pleased with everything. We will start 6th, which is 4th in class. I will take the start. I will then come in at some point at the first pit window, swap to my teammate. He will do the middle stint, and then I will be back in for the finale, the last stint. So I will probably be doing best part of an hour and a half of driving tomorrow, which is going to be in kind of 35+ degree heat. So that is why, as a driver, it's very important to stay fit, you know, all year round. You have to be ready for these conditions and these situations, because it gets very hot inside the car, and you have to maintain focus, because there's a lot of things going on while driving, not just driving fast, but a lot of, you know, things that you have to deal with while driving fast. We'll probably do another video on all the things you have to deal with as a driver at some point. So yeah, that is tomorrow. The race starts at 2 PM local time. Like I say, I'll be in for the start, so obviously the plan is always to try and move forward if you can. Try and hand the car over to my teammate in the best position possible, and then yeah, hopefully he can just have a nice consistent stint in the middle of the race, and then I can be in for the finish, and we can finish strong and hopefully bag ourselves a good result. Yeah, so also, sorry, just to go back, the reason we didn't run new tyres in the third session is you have an amount of tyres allocated for the whole weekend, and because we had a wet first weekend, we had to use some new tyres in practice. So we basically, oh, my voice went a bit funny there, it's very late. We decided to not use new tyres in the third session, lose a bit of time, but then we've now saved a set of tyres for the race, so we have a new set. So we have 2 semi-fresh sets, which is fine, and then we have a new set, so we will either be doing a full new set for the final stint, or I might start with 2 new tyres on the left side, and then again when I get back in, 2 new tyres on the left side. So basically that the left side of the car is what gets used most of the corners are right-handers, quite long right-handers, so the left rear tyre gets a lot of abuse at Mugello. So yeah, we need to just talk things through in the morning, make a decision on strategy, see what we think is going to be best, and then go from there. So yeah, looking forward to the race, and we'll give you an update after the race. So peace out and see you soon.
6 Eliseo Donno e Zules Castro. La seconda Jeff Bartolomeu e Miguel Garcia. I vincitori Salvatore Tamano, Francesco Guerra e Carlo Tamburini. E andiamo anche per loro con l'inno nazionale. Serve per le foto, grazie. Trofei, cappello. Dove c'era il cappello? Guardate davanti.
So we've just checked into our new hotel for our couple of days in Florence. So the race weekend is over now. I'll get Jack to give you a little debrief in a second, but sneak peek, as you can see just there. So as you come in, here's the bed. We've got a mirror just there. Obviously Jack's race stuff and some trophies. And then we've got the toilet. Jack, you left the blooming seat up. He's literally just gone to the toilet. So yeah, bathroom just here and a shower. So overall pretty nice. And we're going to enjoy our lovely few days in Florence.
Okay, so here we are for the final time of this weekend. I'm had a bit of time to kind of process the weekend and the race and everything, bit of food and recovered and everything, into our new hotel, ready for a couple of days off in Florence, which I'm very much looking forward to. I think we pretty much maximised what we could we maximised what we could today, and we ended the race P3 overall and P2 in the Pro-Am class. So absolutely amazing result. Great job by my teammate and the team with the strategy and the good pit stops, and what we did on tyres. So we did, like I said in one of the previous clips, about having 2 new left tyres, basically the side that is leaned on the most. So I started the race with 2 new lefts, and then at for the final stint had 2 new lefts as well. My teammate had tyres that were, I think, about 40 kilometres old from one of the qualifying sessions that he did. So here we are with the goods. So we have the 3rd overall here, and we have the P2 in Pro-Am. So yeah, amazing to get on the podium twice and actually make the overall podium. It was quite an attritional race. There was a lot of incidents, and we basically just kept our noses clean. We had you know, we were fast enough, but Mugello's actually quite a tough track to overtake on, especially with the balance of performance that the Lamborghinis have at the moment. We're quite a bit down in straight line speed, so we have a really good package, and the car's really good on the brakes and good through the corners, but it's quite hard when, you know, you're sitting in the slipstream of the car in front and they just pull away. I mean, against the BMWs it's ridiculous. They're like 8 kilometers an hour faster down the straight, which you're basically, if you're in front of them, you're just a sitting duck. So yeah, it was quite an intense race. I was behind the 51 Ferrari for all of the first stint, applying a lot of pressure, and then I'm not sure what happened in the middle, to be honest. In the middle stint I was kind of just trying to recover, drink, stay cool, get my heart rate down, ready to get back in. And then we came out the pits. We stopped first. I then passed. They were just coming out the pits as I was a couple of laps into my stint, and then I basically had
40 minutes with this 51 Ferrari the opposite way around, breathing down my neck. But like I say, they have a bit more straight line speed, so it was quite tricky, especially as the tyres started dropping off, trying to really focus on getting good exits to maximise what I could do in the straights and defend the best I could. I did manage to hold them off, got quite close a couple of times, but it was probably the toughest 40 minutes I've ever had in any race, because they were never more than 1 second behind. So yeah, I feel like really, well, I feel like as a team, but especially me, really earned these trophies. Like I say, it was very, very hot all weekend, which only makes the tyre degradation worse, so then the car becomes quite tricky to drive, alongside it just being so hot inside the car that, you know, you just get no airflow. And it's that, I don't know if you know, if you ever go in a sauna and you just, that kind of 10-15 seconds before you get out when you've had enough and it's too hot, imagine it's like that, but for the whole, you know, 40-50 minutes. It's just that horrible heat where you're like, I want to get out of this, I need some like cool air, but there just is no cool air. So it's as much a mental battle as it is a physical battle, in terms of just staying consistent and concentrating and trying not to make mistakes. But to summarise, we just had a really steady race, no mistakes, team did a perfect job, teammate did a great job, we managed every safety car and full course yellow situation perfectly, we avoided any crashes, and this is the result. This is what can happen when you just keep your nose clean and put a good race in. You know, sad for our sister car in the team to have an incident with one of the back markers from a different class. Always a rubbish way to end a weekend and a race, you know, when you have an incident with a car that's not even in your class, so you're not actually directly racing them. But this is motorsport and it does happen from time to time, so I'm sure we will see more good stuff from them in the future. And yeah, really just to summarise, very, very pleased, very tired, probably going to be a bit sore in the morning because, like I say, it was an hour and a half's driving in a space of 2 hours in 35-degree heat, which is not something I've done before. So yeah, really happy. It may not sound like it now, I'm just really tired, but had a nice calzone for dinner and looking forward to a couple of days in Florence, do a bit of exploring, a bit of nice food, and then onwards to Goodwood Festival of Speed. So yeah, peace out from Mugello and catch you guys in the next video, and look forward to bringing you along to Monza in the middle of September. So we've got a bit of a break to the next race, but yeah, looking forward to it. So catch you soon.